I know what it's like, and I was telling people on Saturday when I saw that moment is completely real. I was on the Senate floor for a 51-vote win on a hugely important bill in the first months of the Clinton presidency. And when you get those 51, there's nothing quite like it. You do end up loving every one of them.
I truly do. And it's an amazing caucus. We talk to each other. We respect each other. We don't agree with each other on everything. But the bottom line is that every member, as you said, knew that failure was not an option. This is such a major change for America, and we're delivering. I tell Americans, help is on the way. Your $1,400 check for beleaguered people, help is on the way. Your vaccines are going to get in people's arms much more quickly so we can get rid of this crisis. Help is on the way. We are making the schools, we'll allow the schools to open safer and more quickly. And maybe the most important thing of all, which really I care about, and I give a lot of credit to Sherrod Brown and Michael Bennet and Cory Booker, Ron Wyden, who helped put this together, and Richie Neal in the House, is the EITC, the Earned Income Tax Credit, and the Child Tax Credit. If we take half the kids in America out of poverty, that's a generational goal. And you know, these kids, when you're brought up in poverty, you don't get adequate food, nutrition, you don't get adequate health care, you don't get adequate education, you don't get adequate housing. And then when they're 18 and lost, we blame them. It's so much better for society and frankly cheaper in the long run to put the money in now. So this is, yeah, we are excited, Lawrence. We are excited about this bill, the most important bill to pass in a gen, and so many other things that people don't pay attention to. You know, so I had a construction worker teary-eyed talking to me 2 weeks ago. He said, my pension is gone. He said, I don't care about me. I care about my wife, my children, and my parents. If I don't have that pension, they depend on it. We restored it. These people put in dollar after dollar, week after week, and they said, at least when I retire, I'll have a life, if not of luxury, at least of dignity. It was gone. We restored it. So we have delivered for America, Lawrence, and it's been the whole caucus, as you said, from Bernie Sanders to Joe Manchin. Each one knew they couldn't push things too far in their direction so that the other end would fall off. And we did it. And I give them credit. I do love them all. I truly do. I know it sounds corny, but I do.
You know, it doesn't to me. It might to everyone else listening, but it doesn't to me. Senator Schumer, there's a room I would love to be in someday, and I used to be in it quite frequently. It's your conference room where you meet with committee chairmen and others. But you have a leadership team that is unique in Democratic Senate leadership teams that I've ever seen, and it's a larger one than other leaders have had at other times. And it includes Elizabeth Warren. It includes Bernie Sanders. It includes Joe Manchin, all sitting at that not so big conference table that you have in that room. What is it like when you have Joe Manchin at the table, Bernie Sanders at the table? What are they like with each other? And how much did that experience with each other in that room leading up to this help get this done?
You know what we do in that room? We encourage everyone to state their viewpoints and not to take it personally if Joe Manchin feels this way and Bernie Sanders feels that way. And then my job is to try to bring everybody together so that we see each other's points of view, respect each other's points of view, and then come up with a solution that we all can support, but not that something that's so watered down that it doesn't mean anything, but something real. And I think those meetings and the general meetings, I meet Monday night with those 10, then the next day I meet with 20, and every Tuesday we have a lunch, and I encourage everybody to speak out so there are no hidden grievances or unspoken desires of legislation. And it works. It works. And we'll keep working because failure is not an option. You know, the thing I'm sort of proudest of, Lawrence, and you've talked about this, we Democrats have to show we can deliver for people. Okay, people are, you ask yourself this question, why did close to half of America vote for such a horrible, evil man like Donald Trump? A liar, a divider, a bigot, a racist? Because they didn't have hope. And when people don't have hope about the future, when people feel that the American dream, which simply put is if I work hard, I'll be doing better 10 years from now than I'm doing today, my kids will be doing better than me. If they don't believe that, they can turn to a demagogue. They can turn to a dictator. What we are showing people is government can work for them. And there's going to be nothing more tangible and immediate than checks, $1,400. And by the way, there was some talk about trying to cut the children checks, the $3,000 and $3,600 lower. We didn't. And when people will get that and they'll see the vaccines really come into their arms far more quickly than anyone ever imagined as we recover from this crisis. And they will say, wow, government can do something. The American people don't expect us to snap our fingers and make all the trouble go away, but they expect us to work so they give them hope and direction. And maybe that's the most important thing that happened in the last 2 days. They're going to see it. And I believe it'll change the political atmosphere quite a bit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank all of you out there.
Thank you as always.
Thanks to at home.
Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for letting us into your homes during these extraordinary times.